All right, so check this out. Our armies in India are going to merge, and our fleet in India is going to retreat down here to Ceylon. We are going to try to do some diplomacy here and settle our differences with the British before either of us ever even fire a shot. So check this out. We're going to request peace, right? Now, they won't just take it straight up. We'll request peace, and I'm going to give them Goa. Boom. Peace treaty signed. Now, is this ideal? No. But there's a silver lining to this. So this just brings the British into this whole scene. I just introduced another colonial power that's going to be at odds with the Mughal Empire, but that is a step behind me in the race to settle India. Because all they have is Goa. Like I started out with this little province. I've captured Satara and I have Dutch Ceylon. So I still have the advantage in India. And even if the British do start to bring more power and more weight over here, that's just spreading their lines even thinner, which is now in my interest since they've decided they want to not be cool. So what this also does is it gives me basically a one-on-one matchup with France. And I don't have to worry about fighting the British. How nice is that? As we can see, they still have these two forces right here. And still a whole lot of nothing in Paris, it looks like. Pretty big garrison in Paris, though. The only downside to taking Paris right now is that then I have an open front with Spain and the Dutch to the north, which isn't ideal because they will attack me, knowing them. However, in the east, they have they have their full stack army here. So I'm thinking what might have to happen is General Bayano may lend a good portion of his force. Really, let's say just this elite infantry. We'll just send the elite infantry. And they are going to link up, become part of General de Sousa's force. And they're either going to march on Paris or march east to Savoy. Because taking Savoy off of them and then potentially Lombardy off of Spain, it just gives me a more defensible front in Europe than if I go and take France. But France is so valuable. I mean, my goodness. Like, that's absolutely crazy. We'll see. We'll see. I'll probably make a decision at the last minute. In other news, though, back in India, we have secured ourselves a nice matchup right here. So let's go ahead and take care of these guys. I forgot to look at this last turn actually, but I'm gonna be changing our research from beans over to seasoning, because that's gonna drastically reduce the upkeep costs for our navy. Also, Salamanca, I'm gonna change that from canister shot to basic steam pump here. That's gonna boost the wealth generated by our mines that we have in India. Now, unfortunately, there is a war on, so we are going to cancel these pleasure gardens for now in Ceylon because this cash on hand is going to be more valuable to us in the short term. I'm going to use that to raise up some more troops here in Satara. And I'm going to add another full rig to this fleet down here in India. In addition to that, I'm going to inject some more troops. Oops, not that one. Right here for Mr. Ayano. Now let's end this turn. Now I did expect them to go out there and get this sloop, unfortunately. We're just going to auto-resolve that. And hey, they took one down with them. That's what I'm talking about, man. One of our gentlemen has gained a trait. Very nice. And we have finished naval shore facilities. So let's go ahead and we actually want to reassign this research slot. I'm going to throw this one on the flintlock cannon. This is going to reduce our reload time for our naval cannons and get us closer to being able to upgrade our dockyards. They've sent a little raid into our farms here. So we're going to take this freshly trained regiment of Indian militia here, and we're going to go deal with that. Now, the Mughals are kind of forcing me to have to take the fight to them here. I think the most important thing to do right now is to take out this army that's sitting right here in Hyderabad. I'm assuming they have another large army somewhere. I can't see it right now, but I at least know I'll be able to fight this force with only these guys and maybe these guys reinforcing. This will be nice because it's going to give us another tea plantation right here. And right now, tea is actually one of the most valuable commodities on the world market. So it should make it worth our while. Alright, that's about all the fighting we have to do in India for now. But back off the coast of Portugal, we've got a little Spanish fleet here that we've been meaning to deal with.
Preparar. Ordens do navio recebido. Ordens. Ordens ao navio. À frente. O dinheiro dos prémios espera-nos.
And with that, we have captured basically that entire fleet. And we did lose a couple of ships, but I think we came out of that pretty good. Um, so this next little bit, I'm gonna be coping with my own decision because what I decide to do here is I basically capture all of his Spanish fleet. Um, what that does, though, is it significantly increases my upkeep costs naturally because I'm taking on an entire fleet worth of ships. So before I end this turn, I've got to kind of shuffle some things around. I'm able to compensate for that by raiding enemy trade routes, which gives a boost to my income. And I managed to get my income for the next turn in the positive. But that's gonna be the stopping point for episode 6. This one took me a little bit longer to get out, and it's on the shorter side. Um, Honestly, I just wanted to go ahead and get this one out because life has just gotten busy for me. I'm a college student. I'm going into my senior year, starting tomorrow, basically, when after this video gets uploaded. So I wanted to go ahead and get this one out there.
Mudar de direção.
Part 7
À
will
espera de
most
novas
likely
ordens.
be a little bit
Pronto para a
delayed.
ação.
But once I get settled in, semester gets going, I'll be back to uploading more consistently. I'm really enjoying this campaign, and especially, with the addition of this new little fleet here. Once I'm able to really solidify my naval dominance and maybe strike a blow against France, take out some of their fleets, and get some of these new ships on trade ports. Um, Portugal's trade income is going to be incredible. Um, but we've still got work to do. We've still got to repair this fleet. We still have to pay for this fleet, because we're cutting it tight right now with our finances. But
Pronto para a ação.
it's because we are
Ordens
wielding a lot of weight.
recebidas.
We got a lot of
Ordens ao
weight that we
navio.
can throw around. Um,
Ordens.
and so when we come back in part 7, my goal is going to be to throw some of this weight around because these upkeep costs are
Disposto para a ação.
stacking up.
Preparado para a
They are
batalha.
stacking up. So we got to start putting that
À
military that
espera de
we're
novas
paying
ordens.
for to good use, and we have so far. We definitely have, but you know, but now we have unique opportunities, based on the force that we've built up, and we got to start putting that to use. So part 7, we'll definitely see some more moves made on the sea. Um, we're gonna something has to happen between us and France. I mean, we've both just kind of been looking at each other, for the last couple turns while we've been at war. So I'm thinking we're gonna have to make a move, or at least provoke a move out of
Pronto
them.
para a ação.
So, but with that, thank you so much for watching. As always, I am your humble host, Jackson, and I will see you all soon. Take care of yourself, my friends.